There is an ocean of everything you want: success, power, and the most satisfying relationships. It's all available and waiting for you. This is The Zone of Action with your host, Gerald Action Jackson.
Today, the subject of this podcast is the 1,000-minute rule. The 1,000-minute rule. How high performers protect their time, energy, and momentum. Every day, no matter who you are, how much money you have, what title you carry, or what problems you are facing, you wake up with the same gift as everyone else. You receive 1,000 minutes, not more, not less. Those minutes are non-refundable, non-transferable, and they expire at midnight. You cannot save them for tomorrow. You cannot borrow from the next day. Once they are gone for good. Ryan Serhant captured this idea perfectly when he said, Harvard Business Review wrote a case study about me. You have 1,000 minutes every day to be productive. And if you look at those 1,000 minutes as $1,000 in your bank of time you get every day, it'll really start to affect the way you give someone 15 minutes. And it also helped me deal with problems and not have bad days, right? So, you'll have a really bad call and then you have a terrible day. But if the call was only 5 minutes, would I throw away $995 because of $5? Probably not. But it was a real way for me to think about life in a relative way. And so I really tried to put our executive team on the 1,000-minute rule. That quote alone has the power to reframe how you see your entire life. Because most people are not short on time. They are short on perspective. The moment you start seeing your day as a bank account instead of a burden, everything changes. Time becomes intentional. Energy becomes protected. Emotions become managed. Focus becomes sharper. And suddenly bad days lose their grip on you. Let's break this down in a real, practical, human way. The illusion of the bad day. Most people do not actually have bad days. They can have bad moments that they allow to poison the rest of their minutes. A frustrating email at 8:12 a.m., a tense phone call at 9:40 a.m., a meeting that goes sideways before lunch. And just like that, the story becomes, today is a terrible day. But let's slow that down. If a call lasts 5 minutes, that is $5 out of your $1,000 daily time bank. $5! Would you light $995 on fire because someone took $5 from your wallet? Of course not. Yet emotionally, that is exactly what many people do every single day. They replay the moment. They relive the tone. They rehearse the argument in their head. They let frustration spill into unrelated conversations. And before they know it, one moment has hijacked their entire day. The 1,000-minute rule interrupts that pattern. It forces you to ask a powerful question in real time. Is this worth the rest of my minutes? Most of the time, the answer is no. Time as currency changes behavior. When people think of time as something abstract, they waste it without guilt. But when you think of time as money, behavior shifts immediately. You do not hand $100 to strangers without thinking. You do not casually throw $200 at things that do not matter. You certainly do not give away $500 to something that does not serve you. Yet people routinely give away 100, 200, sometimes 600 minutes of their day to endless scrolling, unproductive conversations, complaining sessions drama that is not theirs, worry about things outside their control. If you would not spend your money that way, why are you spending your minutes that way? Once you see minutes as dollars, boundaries become easier. You start to say no without guilt. You stop over-explaining. You become more selective with meetings. You shorten conversations that go nowhere. You protect mornings and prime energy hours, not because you are cold, not because you are selfish, but because you are responsible. The power of relative thinking. One of the most powerful ideas inside the 1,000-minute rule is relativity. Problems only feel overwhelming when we isolate them from context. A bad call feels massive when it defines the day. A setback feels catastrophic when it becomes a story. A mistake feels personal when it becomes identity. Relative thinking puts problems back in their proper place. 5 minutes is 5 minutes. 15 minutes is 15 minutes. An hour is 60 minutes. Nothing more. When you learn to say, this moment does not get to tax my entire day, you regain emotional leadership over your life. This is how high performers stay steady. They do not avoid problems. They do not suppress emotions. They do not pretend things do not hurt. They simply refuse to let a small withdrawal bankrupt the whole account. Why leaders must adopt this rule? Ryan Serhant mentioned something important when he said he put his executive team on the 1,000-minute rule. That matters because leaders set emotional tone, whether they realize it or not. If a leader spirals over a setback, the team feels it. If a leader carries frustration into meetings, morale drops. If a leader lets one bad interaction ruin their energy, productivity follows. The 1,000-minute mindset creates emotionally regulated leadership. Leaders still address issues. They still hold standards. They still have difficult conversations. But they do it without contaminating the rest of the day. They compartmentalize, they reset, they move forward. This is not toxic positivity. This is disciplined perspective. High performers protect momentum. Momentum is fragile. It does not take much to derail it. A comment, a tone, a misunderstanding. People who live reactively lose momentum constantly. People who live intentionally protect it aggressively. The 1,000-minute rule is a momentum protection system. It allows you to say, that happened. It matters. I will address it, and now I am moving on. No emotional hangover. No lingering resentment. No wasted hours. Momentum stays intact. Why this matters beyond business. This philosophy is not just about work. It applies to relationships. It applies to parenting. It applies to health. It applies to self-talk. How many evenings have been ruined by something that happened at work that morning? How many family moments were half present because the mind was replaying something that already ended? How many workouts were skipped because energy was spent on frustration instead of movement? When you see minutes clearly, you stop stealing from the people and things that matter most. You stop bringing work stress into the home. You stop letting outside noise dictate your mood. You stop sacrificing joy for problems that already passed. The emotional return on investment improves. Training yourself to think this way. This mindset does not happen automatically. It must be practiced. Here are simple ways to train it. When something goes wrong, immediately ask, how many minutes was that? Say it out loud if you have to. Then ask, is it worth the remaining balance? Most of the time, the answer reframes your emotions instantly. Another powerful practice is planning your minutes in advance. Decide where your best minutes go. Protect them. Invest them in priorities, not distractions. If you start your day knowing where your highest value minutes belong, it becomes harder to waste them unintentionally. The compound effect of respecting your minutes. When you respect your minutes daily, something interesting happens over time. Stress decreases. Clarity increases. Energy improves. Confidence strengthens. Why? Because you stop living reactively. You stop feeling like life is happening to you. You start feeling like you are directing it. That sense of control does not come from domination. It comes from stewardship. You are stewarding your time, not fighting it. This is how consistency is built. This is how resilience is developed. This is how success becomes sustainable. Bad days lose their power. Perhaps the greatest gift of the 1,000-minute rule is this. It eliminates the concept of a bad day. You still have bad moments. You still face challenges. You still deal with disappointment, but days no longer get labeled and ruined wholesale. You become someone who says, that was a tough moment. The day is still valuable. That shift alone can change a life. Because when bad days disappear, momentum compounds. Final thought, you are not behind. You are not overwhelmed. You are not broken. You are simply spending minutes without intention. The moment you start treating your 1,000 minutes like a bank account instead of an emotional dumping ground, everything shifts. You become calmer. You become sharper. You become more selective. You become more powerful. 5 minutes does not get to steal 995. One call does not get to define a day. One setback does not get to erase progress. You have 1,000 minutes today. Spend them like they matter, because they do. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter, JEROLDJAX. On Facebook, Gerald Action Jackson and Zone of Action. Check out the website, GeraldJackson.com. Happiness starts with you, not with your relationship, not with your job, not with your money, but with you in the zone of action.